Hey folks, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your NHL preview and prediction on tonight's playoff hockey game between the Boston Bruins and the Washington Capitals. It is Saturday, May 15th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. All right, everything goes. We're rock and roll tonight. It's the NHL playoffs. We're getting ready to roll here. And if you missed my prediction on the Stanley Cup, I do like the Florida Panthers to win the Stanley Cup at 18-1. And what's the beautiful thing about that is that in case we get to the third round, then you got yourself a nice hedging opportunity, and you can start hedging with the Florida Panthers if they make it to the third round. And I do expect them to go and win the Stanley Cup this season. All right, let's get on to this one between the Boston Bruins and the Washington Capitals. Now, the bookmakers surprised us a bit here, making Boston a favorite by minus 132, the over-under at 5.5. The computer picks, the analytics, based on 74 previous game, has Boston winning 2.97, 2.85, the over-under at 5.82. And that's where I tend to lean on this game here tonight. Over the total, you got Vanacek going here for Washington against Tuukka Rask for the Boston Bruins. Now, Washington coming in this game on a 7 wins, 3 losses in their last 10, where Boston is 6-4 in their last 10. Both these teams have played a lot of low-scoring games, so they must have been getting ready to play for the playoffs, as the under is 7-3 in their last 10. But keep in mind, Ovechkin sat out a lot of those games, and they're on a 4-game under streak. And I think this game is over the total here tonight, guys. I think you want to lean on the over. And looking at Boston when they're at home, Washington when they're at home against a B-type team in the standings. A B-type team in the Raymond Report is teams that are 50 to 59.9 in the standings. The over is 5-1 for Washington this season. And if you look at their home record on the year, 17-11, 15-13 to the over. They tend to play more overs on the road, 17-10-1. And when Boston's on the road, 15-13 on the year, 11-17. And Boston played a lot of unders this year, 23-13. Missing Chara is really going to hurt Boston. This is where they're going to feel, and he's on the other side tonight. So they're going to see, now that you're playing a 7-game series, it's more physical, it's more mind games, it's more in your face, it's more grinding, and you need more sandpaper. And this is where I think Washington will outduel Boston in 6 games, and I'm going to go with Washington to win the series. Now, looking at Boston when they travel to the Washington Center, they're 3-7 in their last 10, 6-4 to the over, and in the last 10 head-to-head games, so games in Washington or at TD Gardens in Boston, 7-3 to the over. So a lot of high-scoring games in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. Keep in mind, Ovechkin didn't play near the end of the year, right? So that's why you saw a lot of low-scoring games. Now, looking at the total when it's 5.5 in Washington this season, 11-4 to the over. And if you look at the over-under record for Boston, 6.5, 6.5, 5.5 here, 6.5. It's been 6.5 most of the season. And then you had a couple of 5.5s against the Islanders, but that's because the Islanders, they're like a soccer team on ice this year, right? They get that 1-goal lead and they protect it all game. But folks, you want to go the over here tonight, I believe, between Washington and Boston. It should be a good first period to fill each other out, and I expect more scoring to come in the later part of the game. And we'll see if the power play is, if these teams get into penalty problems tonight, then the power play, the old PP will get going, and the power play, we'll see if the penalty killing for both teams will be in full effect. And, let's take a look at how these teams done on the season. In fact, let me go to my team scoring rankings. I want to see how these teams compare offensively and defensively on the season. And I'll just check out there's my matchup. So Boston on offense, 14th in the league, ranked, and then Washington number 4th. But Boston, they play defense, right? The number 5th ranked defense in Washington, if they're going to want to, compete fair in the Stanley Cup, they got to do a better job than being 18th in the league on defense. So there you have it. That's my preview and prediction on tonight's game between the Caps and the Boston Bruins. Should be a good one. In fact, when I look at the season series, look at this. Boston and Washington, 4-4 on the year, 6-2 to the over, and I'm hoping that's what cashes in tonight. Also, if you're interested in my selections, check out hockeypicks.com. All you got to do is go to hockeypicks.com, and my handle there is Ronnie Ray. And if you want to see my selections, all you got to do is head on over to hockeypicks.com and then look for most followed, and then you'll find the old Hull Olympic logo right there, and that's my handle. You can follow my picks each and every day right here at hockeypicks.com. Have a great night. Have a great playoff, folks. This is going to be a lot of fun. And don't forget, Florida Panthers, 18-1 odds. If you can get them now. Cheers.